It's a football Saturday in the SEC. Here is the starting lineup. The man with the golden voice, sports savant, Keefer. One of Birmingham's all-time most multi-talented iconic broadcasters, Tony Curry. Four-time champion Paul Feinbaum show caller contributor, the legend. The illustrious First Lady of SEC football, Terry Quillian. Award-winning national sports handicapper from Las Vegas, Case Keefer. And now, let's talk football.
It is championship weekend, baby. Hey, welcome to ABC 3340's The Starting Lineup. Kip Keefer, Tony Curry, our special guest, Stuart Rome, the Woodhouse Day Spa, who just had an incredible Cyber Monday, and of course a Black Friday as well. Welcome back to The Starting Lineup, my friend. How'd it go on your big sales?
Win in Rome.
Win in Rome. He's got a great show on Tony Curry Radio called Win in Rome with Stuart Rome. It's won awards. Congratulations. And another thing, it's one
haven't received my money yet.
Where's the check?
Something else that's won awards, of course, are a lot of your businesses, including the Woodhouse Day Spa right there at the Summit. Tell people about it.
So true. Yeah, we had a great Cyber Monday. We had a great the series special for Black Friday.
Awesome.
And we're actually in the final stretches now. Believe it or not, this is it. Like now to Christmas is just a free flow of gift card sales, packages that we're carrying. But it's unbelievable that we're almost done. I mean, the new year is almost here, which is incredible.
He expanded his business after about 4 years, and it took a couple of years to get underway, and we had you on every single week talking about where we were over the expansion, and that was the beginning of this year, and I can't believe it's been a year since you did that.
It's unbelievable that we opened that expansion about a year ago, it seems like a month ago.
We still got to get my man, Kip Keefer, out there.
Yeah, that's for sure. I need to do that, but I'll say it again. Best gift idea for your significant other or anybody important to you in your life ever is a opportunity to enjoy all the great services that Stuart offers at Woodhouse.
Yeah.
Birmingham. I just renamed your business.
Birmingham.woodhousespas.com, Birmingham.woodhousespas.com, and I've said this and I say it every single week. I'm a dad. I have a 12-year-old daughter. I'm going to teach her and treat her like the princess she is. I'm going to shoot every other boyfriend that comes near her. And so I started getting her gift card starting 2 years ago, and now she expects something for Christmas.
You just cancel all her future dates. We're going to watch this. And
she likes to go in there and get the petties and the manis and stuff. And so you fathers out there really want to blow away your daughters and really give them something special. Go to the Woodhouse Day Spa because it is the best of the best, correct?
Well, thank you, sir. Yep,
absolutely.
We have you still have the 6 for $5 special. We have 4 packages for Christmas. We have retail with candles and robes and all that great stuff.
Awesome.
So come visit us or just purchase it online if you can't get there.
Before we get to the marquee matchups, you had a location down in New Orleans. Of course, you're a huge Saints fan. We will not hold that against you. I want you to divulge to me several of the biggest names you ever had come through the Woodhouse Day Spa.
Wow.
Birmingham, obviously, we Jelly Roll was here last week, and I thought Jelly Roll was getting a rub down at the Woodhouse Day Spa. But I know you've had several big stars.
We've had like Kristen Wiig, Amelia Clark from Game of Thrones.
Oh wow!
A bunch of football players, obviously. Kyle Busch when he was in town doing the Super Bowl promo. I can't think of all the other ones, but Sophia Coppola.
Spa of the Stars.
Sophia Coppola, yeah, baby.
So we'd like to get some of them here in Birmingham.
Heck yeah.
I haven't seen them yet. But.
All right, Woodhouse Day Spa, Birmingham.woodhousespas.com. They win every championship, period. They're undefeated. Speaking of undefeated, the marquee man right here.
Yeah, marquee matchups are easy this week. There's 4 major championship games. Let's run them. 2 of them are consequential. 2 of them, all 4 teams are already in, so I don't know why we're bothering. But Texas and Georgia will play the rematch in the SEC. Georgia handled them just thoroughly down in Austin, and somehow they're a 2.5-point underdog here. I really don't know how that computes. Also, of course, you've got in the Big Ten. Oh, wait a minute. Ohio State's not in the Big Ten championship game? This just in, it's Penn State and Oregon, the Ducks and the Nittany Lions. Both those teams are guaranteed a spot, so that's another game just for show. The games that matter, that aren't usually the ones we'd be looking at, is in the ACC, Clemson has a chance to weasel their way in despite kind of a subpar season. If they can beat upstart SMU, that's going to be interesting for the teams on the bubble like Alabama to see how that one goes. And also, of course, in the Big Ten, do you guys know that the preseason, the press in Las Vegas at the Big Ten Media Days ranked Iowa State 14th and Arizona State last, 18th in the conference was their preseason predictions. Wrong. They're playing for the championship, and one of them is going to be in the college football playoffs. So those are your marquee matchups, Tony. What's got your attention?
Iowa State has never won a conference championship.
Never.
Which is hard to believe, so I'd like to see that
the
happen.
Cyclones.
You mentioned Dabo Swinney, too, and I saw some numbers. 9-3 against the spread as a dog in a neutral site game since he's been at Clemson. The last time we've had 2005, the last time we've had a team lose 3 games against the spread going into the championship game, those teams 7-0 against the spread, and Dabo has won 8 straight championship games straight up. I like those Clemson Tigers.
Nice.
Let's see what Legend thinks.
One marquee matchup today for Alabama, Clemson, SMU. People are saying if Clemson wins, Alabama's out. I don't believe that. I believe we're dancing either way. But the one marquee matchup I'm interested in is SMU putting a boot in Dabo Swinney's behind. Now out to the First Lady.
We have a big matchup happening this Saturday in Atlanta, Georgia, where the SEC Championship is going to be played at 3 p.m. We've got the Texas Longhorns coming in against the Georgia Bulldogs. Now, I'm finding it really interesting. Texas is currently a 2.5-point favorite, and I have to ask myself, why? I mean, the last time these two teams met in October, Georgia had to travel to Austin, play the Longhorns there on the Formula One weekend, which definitely had a dampening effect on the number of Georgia fans that could be there, and still whipped the Longhorns 30-15. And in case you're forgetting, out of those 15 points, really 7 of them were pretty much a gimme touchdown after the most ridiculous officiating call in college football this season, where Texas fans decided to throw stuff on the field. And then after minutes of that happening, the officials reversed a call. Never happened before, and hopefully will never happen since. But at any rate, Georgia whipped them. I'm finding it really interesting that somehow all the national prognosticators think this is just going to be an easy victory for the Longhorns. Well, let's look at the two quarterbacks. Okay, everybody's thinking Quinn Ewers, he's the man. Well, Quinn Ewers has thrown for about 2,307 yards this season. Carson Beck, on the other hand, 3,249. Think about that. Beck's thrown for about 1,000 more yards. And yes, Beck has more interceptions at 7 than Quinn has, at 12 than Quinn has at 7. However, in his last 3 games, Beck has been perfect. No interceptions in the past 118 passes, including 11 touchdowns. So I'm not quite understanding all the love the Longhorns are getting here. As a Georgia alum, of course, I'm incredibly nervous. It's the SEC Championship at Mercedes-Benz Stadium, so of course we're nervous. The good news is we're not playing Alabama.
With all due respect to the SEC and Big Ten, which clearly have the highest quality matchups, the best teams, those are not the games to watch today. To me, it's the ACC championship game and the Big 12 championship where the stakes couldn't be higher. Another unintended benefit of the college football playoff is we have so many elimination games already. The 2 with the highest stakes yet come today. I can't wait to watch these games, and I know this is not what a lot of people around there are going to want to hear, but I'm kind of leaning to both underdogs. Not an official play yet. You'll have to wait a little bit later on, the Vegas Heaters for that. If you want to read more of what I think on every college football conference championship game, go to LasVegasSun.com. Check out the college football by the odds column where I am 408, 313, and 9 on the year. Best college football season ever. Let's keep it going another week.
Step back into the groove and then into the Birmingham Racecourse Casino.
Check this out. It's all happening here.
The Birmingham Racecourse Casino is the local place to win.
Good times right here.
Let the Birmingham Racecourse Casino bring the good times to you. The Birmingham Racecourse Casino, where the good times roll.
Where you could be a winner too. Yeah, boy.
This week in the Coach's Corner, I've got all the coaches in the SEC. I mean, what a challenging job it is right now to be a head football coach. And yes, I know the salaries are huge and I know the buyouts are absurd. Don't even get me talking about that. But my gosh, what a complicated job it is right now. This week we had recruiting, signing, commitment week. You got to wonder what that really means right now. You've got recruits that, quote, flip at the last minute. Some of those flips make no sense at all unless you figure that money is a part of it. And I'm not just making that up because we know for sure that money was part of the big Michigan flip for a quarterback that they stole from LSU. That's got to drive you crazy as a coach. Then, even when you have them signed and committed, are they really committed? Doesn't seem like they're really committed unless they are actually on your campus, enrolled and practicing with the team. And then once you have them committed for this coming season, you get to re-recruit them every year to make sure they don't pop into the transfer portal. Whoa, what a job. On top of all that, if you're an SEC coach with a team that's successful, and we've got a bunch of them who are, you have to try to figure out how the CFP selection committee decides who's going to be in there and who's not going to be in there. We heard a very frustrated Lane Kiffin saying, I really can't figure out what they do. So you meet for days and days to come up with who these teams are. Do you really watch the games? Do you look at the players? Do you analyze the road environments? Or are you just trying to make the ACC feel relevant? Have to tell you, I'm in 100% agreement with Lane Kiffin on that one. And it's not just Lane with some kind of sour grapes. You've got Kirby Smart, who supposedly has his team in the playoffs whether he wins or loses on Saturday. Back in November, he was asked after a Georgia win if he thought that win would improve his team's standing with the CFP. And he said, I don't know. I really don't know. I don't know what they look for. Boy, isn't that the truth? And then this week, Kirby said, I don't know what these guys are doing. If they're evaluators, then maybe they need to have more college football coaches on that group and people who evaluate football teams for a living. Boy, isn't that the truth? Kip Keefer and I have talked all season about how ludicrous it is to have this panel made up predominantly of athletic directors who are bureaucrats managing a big payroll. I don't mean they don't have a big job, but we know these are not expert college football evaluators. The CFP situation is crazy. And just to show how crazy it is, you have Alabama having to wait and see the outcome of the ACC championship game to see whether or not they make it into the college football playoff. So I want to ask you, Legend, over there in the Legend Cave, how do you feel about being dependent on SMU winning their game to know if your team is going to be in the college football playoff? Over to you, Legend, in the cave.
Oh, welcome to the Legend Cave where few men have ever stood. I'm talking Ronnie Van Zant. I'm talking Elvis. I'm talking about the great Kip Keefer right here behind me. And Kipper, I'm dancing this week, baby. I'm dancing. Who knew that Alabama would be Cinderella and get into the hats? Some folks say, Kipper, if SMU loses today, we ain't going. I say that's bull crap. Yeah. Any playoff without us dancing ain't a playoff. What do you think about it, Kipper?
If SMU wins, book your ticket.
Book my ticket.
You are
Come
in.
on, Mustang.
If SMU loses, it puts it in the hands of the committee. That makes me a little nervous because they like to reward teams with a better record, but Alabama's resume just blows SMU's away. So if they do the right thing, you asked me in the first week of the season, just let me be dancing.
Let me be dancing, baby. Y'all know what time
I don't care how many games.
Y'all know what time it is.
Just get me a ticket to the mall, and I think the Legend wearing his dancing shoes is going to be rewarded.
You know, I want to be Cinderella one time in my life. And I mean, y'all know the Legend now. I'm an old man, but I want to be Cinderella one time in my life, baby. And I think this may be the year. The board. Thank God for the 12-team playoff, because where would you be without it? Right? Where would Ryan Day be be right now?
In the Tech Slayer Bowl.
Where would Ryan Day be right now, Kipper?
Oh, Ryan Day, that's another story. What a dumpster fire. That whole Ohio State debacle. Isn't it amazing? They are not in the Big Ten championship game. It's going to be the first time ever.
You what, boy? $20 million don't buy you as much as it used to. It doesn't, bro.
Not money well spent.
It don't do it. But Alabama, somehow, some way, you let us get in that dance. And if you let us get in that dance, we will take over. We will come in. We will slap the homecoming king. We will get up on the platform, put the crown on and say, we the number one seed. You know they're the playoff with Alabama. They did. Folks in China, Japan, Russia. If we get it, everybody's watching. Nobody cares about these other teams. Kipper, at the end of the day, do we get in or are we dancing?
You're going to dance, and let me tell you, well, I'm going to whet your appetite even more. Alabama's going to get the 12 slot, and almost for sure in the 5 slot, the Golden Domers, the Fighting Irish of Notre Dame. Alabama's going to get to go to South Bend, and how much are you going to relish that of sending them home?
Bear.
Bear's thinking about
Bear, I've been talking to
He's
y'all.
thinking about 1973.
Bear, I've been talking to y'all. Yeah, Bear, we love it. I ain't forgot that 24-23 game, Notre Dame. Even though we beat you by 60 when you had that problem, right, Kelly? I ain't forgot the fact that you beat the Bear. I would love that. What do you think Alabama would do against Notre Dame?
I think they would go up there and dominate them. There are so many phony teams that are all automatically in. The SEC's a jungle. They've cannibalized and beaten up each other, while all these other teams have played no one and are just strolling in unscathed. I want the SEC to go and teach these teams a lesson about which conference, already the dominant conference in football, now taking over basketball, baseball, just a joke. How many teams? Like 5 in the World Series last year. The SEC is the dominant collegiate conference in all sports in America.
That Keefer, I love him in the cave. He stays in the cave. He can't visit. I can't get rid of him. He just stays. He got a suite in the back now.
Yeah, I want you to remodel my room. I need a couple of minutes.
No problem, Keefer. Anything with the Keefer. He's a made man in the legend cave, baby. Hey, shout out to Monty Bauer. Now that we love Monty. Monty's the man. Been on Ballers. Been all over HBO. Shout out to his grandsons. Hey, we love y'all. Love y'all down in Walker County. We dancing, baby. We dancing. Tony Curry. I'm dancing! Oh, don't remember it's just a game! Don't be like the great Kipper, the legend.
Sports insane.
Just like Stuart Rome, Woodhouse Day Spa, Birmingham.woodhousespas.com. We have some great sponsors around here. Southern Precision Staffing, Kai Gregory is going to join us here in a couple weeks, right here on the 21st, because we're getting ready for bowl season. He knows how to pick some ball games. Southern Precision Staffing, 205-682-2828, where your word, your handshake still means something for any of your staffing needs. Just got off the phone with Teresa Autry from Expert Realty in Hoover. She does fantastic work. 294-4210, 294-4210. She's been a broker for over 30 years. You're looking for that dream home of yours? I know I am, man. I can't live in his basement any longer. She's going to help me out. Teresa Autry, Expert Realty, and also Spy for Rent. Spy for Rent has been one of our favorite sponsors.
Don't forget the Spies.
No, don't forget the Spies. They do a show on Tony Curry Radio every single week. Curry Fuller, and of course, Jeff Hammock. They're fantastic. It's Spy for Rent, 790-3051. Check them out, and make sure you take care of all of our great sponsors right here on the starting lineup.
Step back into the groove and then into the Birmingham Racecourse Casino.
Check this out. It's all happening here.
The Birmingham Racecourse Casino is the local place to win.
Good times right here.
Let the Birmingham Racecourse Casino bring the good times to you. The Birmingham Racecourse Casino, where the good times roll.
Where you could be a winner too. Yeah, boy.
Hey, it's Case Keefer back again with the Vegas Heaters. I'm the assistant sports editor for Greenspun Media Group, which includes the Las Vegas Sun, longtime sports bettor and sports betting writer. In the opening part of the show, I kind of talked about how good of a year it has been for LasVegasSun.com, my best year betting college football ever. But let's just stick to just the starting lineup because it has been strong here as well. In the Vegas Heaters segment alone, 27-20 on the year. That's profitable. Wish it was a little better, but still strong. You put everything I've given out on the show together, 53-36. 36. Can't ask for much more than that. Let's keep it rolling this week. I know the last time we came was 2 weeks ago that we did a fresh one. Went 1-2 in that in the Vegas Heaters, but kind of redeemed myself with 2-1 on college football in the best bets and upset. But how about that bonus bet? I always try to keep it topical to what's going on here in Las Vegas. I'm sure you probably weren't watching with the Las Vegas Grand Prix, the F1 race. I gave out Carlos Sainz to podium. He just barely snuck in there, came in third. I'm sure you probably missed the drama. So he was told, do not pass your teammate Charles Leclerc for third, and he did it anyway. And Charles Leclerc was not very happy about it, said on the radio, maybe try in Spanish next time. So it was kind of the drama of the race, but he snuck in there for us. Speaking of topical Las Vegas stuff, maybe we'll get to that at the end of the segment. But again, strong records. Let's keep it going. We're going to have to get creative this week because it's a lot different than when there's 50-plus game slates. So much to pick out. Only 9 games this weekend. Only 6 games today after 3 games already in the book from Friday. So I'm going to go with something a little bit different. These aren't my strongest bets of the year, just to give you something. But I want to be a crowd pleaser today. And everyone in these big game weekends likes points. So I'm going to give out my 2 favorite overs for today. And they both have a very simple and similar handicap. Let's start in the MAC championship game where Miami of Ohio takes on Ohio with a total of 44.5. Obviously over 44.5. These teams already played once. The total was 43.5 at an outdoors game. It wasn't terrible elements, but still, a little few more variables to control there. They scored 50, and Ohio's offense has just taken off since then. Parker Navarro has looked amazing. Miami of Ohio, their running back has had some explosive plays. Brett Gabbert, when he has to, is capable of putting them up there. So I think 44.5 indoors at Ford Field, a little short. Give me over 44.5. Similarly, I like the Mercedes-Benz Stadium over as well. Georgia, Texas, the first time they played, this over-under was 57. Now down to the best number I see on the screen right now, 48.5. More 49s, but hey, get the best number always. So I'm going to say over 48.5, Georgia, Texas. I think both these offenses can score more than they've maybe shown on a week-to-week basis, especially Texas, who I think has kind of let off the gas. I don't think they let off the gas here. I think Georgia is going to kind of empty the clip as far as their playbook too, so I like the over 48.5 there. Like I said, get creative, so let's throw out some bets on other sports while I'm here. How about Saturday night? As good as college football has been, college basketball has been even better, and you guys got to love it down there. The SEC, I think, looks like the best it has been probably in my lifetime, at least since I've been covering or following college basketball very closely. Just absolutely clowned the ACC and the SEC-ACC challenge earlier this week, and I think the conference keeps it rolling this week. One of the teams that lost in that challenge, Kentucky, now goes all the way to Seattle to take on Gonzaga, who I love Gonzaga, but I love Kentucky just as much the way they're playing. Mark Pope's going to be a big underdog. I think whenever you get a lot of points with him, you take it. There's no line out at the time of recording, but it looks like it's going to be in the 6.5, 7 range. Anything over 6, take Kentucky. I think they keep it close with Gonzaga. And I mentioned one bonus would be what's going on here in Vegas. I'll be watching some of these games on my phone, on my tablet on Saturday night, because I'll be cage side for UFC 310. And an overall hint or way I'm leaning on these fights, I like the under. They're going back to the old gloves. There's been a lot of overs, a lot of decisions this year with the new gloves. I think there's a lot of aggressive fighters. I think there's going to be a lot of finishes. So let's go straight to the main event. Kai Asakura and Alexandre Pantoja. Give me the under 2.5. I know they're flyweights, but plus 115. Maybe you sprinkle Pantoja to win by submission at plus 200. So there's a plus 115, which is what's going on in Vegas. Oh, and one final one. How about Sunday Night Football? Kansas City Chiefs lay the 3.5 against the beaten up Los Angeles Chargers, playing a back-to-back road game. There's 5 bets for you. 2 on college football, 3 hodgepodge. This has been a great Vegas Heaters. Thanks for checking out.
Best bets, upsets. It's time here on the program, and of course we've got a limited schedule this week, but there's plenty of action to be had. I don't understand how Georgia's a 2.5-point underdog playing closer to home. They went to Austin and beat down, curb stomped the Longhorns. I don't think a matter of just a couple of weeks is going to make that big a difference. I'm still not impressed with this Texas team, Tony. I know physically they've got this great roster. They got all these giant guys, but I just... they completely dominated that game against Texas A&M, but they only scored 17 points. I just don't understand why this team is so celebrated. I like the Dogs plus 2.5. I also am looking hard at the game in the Big 12, I got to get my bigs right. The Big 12, Iowa State, I think, is probably a more seasoned team and has a better shot. Arizona State's been kind of an upstart all year. I think it might hit those guys. This is the championship game. I really think Iowa State's going to come out ahead here. Arizona State's had a great year, but this is too much of a Cinderella story. They picked last in the conference. And my big upset, upright winner this week is the Clemson Tigers, because I think SMU's in that same spotlight where it gets real this week, and they're playing in Charlotte, which is a de facto home game for them. I like Clemson to get it done and qualify for the college football playoff. Let's see what Legends got. Best bet upset.
David Legend and Gary Legend, the Legend brothers, have been destroying it this year, and we got a great 3-game parlay today. We like the Georgia Bulldogs as our dog of the week. We like SMU -2.5 to put a foot in Dabo's behind, and we like those Iowa State Cyclones -2.5 to take down Arizona State. You heard it from the Legend brothers.
As far as the upset, give me the Nittany Lions today at Lucas Oil Field in Indianapolis. I think this game between Oregon and Penn State is a straight coin flip for the Big Ten championship game. Penn State's metrics are actually a little bit better than Oregon's in all areas. I really like the Nittany Lions here. I feel like they've been disrespected. Here's where they turn it all around and show they belong. Best bets, I'm going to go with one favorite, one underdog. For the favorite, give me Louisiana, the Raging Cajuns, laying 5 against Marshall. The Thundering Herd, a great story. They don't really deserve to be here. They got outgained in Sun Belt play. Louisiana, on the other hand, is a wagon rolling over everyone. I know they lost their quarterback, but Chandler Fields has looked just as good as Ben Woolridge. I think they pile on the points today. And finally, Iowa State +2.5. Arizona State has proved me wrong all year, but they're going to have to do it once again. I feel like they've gotten lucky in a lot of these games. I feel like Iowa State is tougher. Go Cyclones. Now let's see what Tony's got for us.
You know, we've been talking about Penn State all year long. They've been hovering right there in the top 5, and no one even talks about this team. It's weird. James Franklin, he's not good in big games. He's 1-16. He's 1-16 his last 17 games against top 5 competition. 5-12 against the spread in those games. He's lost 11 straight games against top 5 teams.
Pretty good.
And he has not won a top 5 game since 2016. You kidding me? And I'm getting Oregon minus a field goal. I'm taking taking the Ducks all day long. I'm going to go with Clemson. My boy's going back to college there. I mentioned Dabo's 9-3 gets the spread, catches some points there on a neutral field. He's won 8 straight conference games. It'll make it 9. And you mentioned Iowa State and Matt Campbell. He's 35-22, 62% as a dog. I'm going to take Iowa State because I think this game means a whole lot. And just for fun, John Summerall, 19-7 against the spread under Tulane. He's a perfect 11-0 this season when laying points in his career at Tulane. So if you're looking for a side bet, take Tulane as well. Enjoy your full day of championship football. Congratulations. The Crimson Tide looks like they're going to backdoor it, so it's all right.
Like the Legend said, just get me in the dance.
I know. Just make sure you get in the dance. I think the Legend, he's taking his heart medicine. He's going to be okay.
He's wearing his ballet shoes today.
Enjoy your fantastic weekend and happy holidays, folks.
Step back into the groove and then into the Birmingham Racecourse Casino.
Check this out. It's all happening here.
The Birmingham Racecourse Casino is the local place to win.
Good times right here.
Let the Birmingham Racecourse Casino bring the good times to you. The Birmingham Racecourse Casino, where the good times roll.
Where you could be a winner too. Yeah, boy.